When digital systems collapse, knowledge becomes the most valuable currency. In an age where nearly everything is stored online, from recipes to repair manuals, medical info to historical texts, we've become dangerously reliant on digital access. But what happens when the grid goes down, when the internet vanishes and with it, the vast libraries we've come to depend on? This is where physical books become not just important, but life-saving. Imagine a massive blackout, cyber attack, or EMP strike. Suddenly, your phone's dead, your laptop's useless, even your solar panels may be fried. Now what? All those bookmarked videos, downloaded PDF and cloud-based files are inaccessible. You can't Google how to purify water or treat an infected wound. You can't look up how to build a basic shelter or what wild plants are safe to eat. That's not a future problem. It's a present vulnerability. This is why books matter. Real, tangible, dog-eared, well-used books you can hold in your hands when everything else fails. When you're cold, hungry, and scared, there's power in flipping through pages you've prepared in advance. Books don't require power or signal. They don't crash. They don't get hacked. They're there when you need them, quietly waiting, full of hard-earned wisdom from generations before you. The kinds of books you should own are not random. They should be intentional. Survival manuals, foraging guides, first aid handbooks, books on bushcraft, navigation, self-defense, and even homesteading skills like gardening, food preservation, and animal care. Think about the knowledge that keeps you alive and make sure it's on paper. Even beyond practical survival, there's value in books that nourish your mind. When the world outside is chaos, a good book can calm the storm within. Books on stoicism, faith, history, or leadership can help you keep your mental footing when others around you fall apart. In fact, mental survival is often what separates those who make it from those who don't. And here's the kicker. Books aren't just for you. They're for the next generation. If you make it through the storm, but your children grow up without skills or guidance, what have you really secured? Books are a legacy. They're a library of resilience you pass on. In a world rushing toward convenience, physical books are a slow, solid anchor. Don't wait until the shelves are empty or printing presses stop. Get the books now, while you still can, because when the lights go out, the mind is your most powerful tool, and a good book, that's the spark that keeps it lit. Many people stockpile food, water, and tools for emergencies, but overlook one essential resource: medical knowledge. When hospitals are overwhelmed, pharmacies are looted, and doctors are unreachable, knowing how to treat injuries or illness at home can make the difference between life and death. That's why medical books are one of the most crucial categories of literature you should own before any major collapse. In a long-term crisis, even minor issues can escalate quickly. A small cut can turn into a deadly infection. A twisted ankle can become a permanent disability. A fever in a child can spiral into panic when there's no pediatrician in sight. Now imagine not having the internet to look up symptoms or remedies. That's where having a solid medical guide on paper comes in. You need more than just a dusty old first aid pamphlet. What you want are comprehensive, plain-language medical books that walk you through everything from treating shock and broken bones to recognizing signs of infection, dehydration, or respiratory distress. Look for books written by experienced survival doctors, paramedics, or wilderness medics. These professionals understand what it's like to work without advanced equipment or sterile environments. And don't just think about trauma. In a collapse, you'll need to understand how to handle chronic conditions too, like asthma, diabetes, or high blood pressure, when medications are scarce. Books that cover herbal alternatives or natural remedies can be a lifeline when prescription meds run out. Just make sure they're well researched and based on real science, not hype. If you have kids, find a pediatric care manual. If you have elderly family members, get something that addresses age-related health concerns. Women especially need guides that cover pregnancy, childbirth, and reproductive health, topics that are often missing from general survival texts. You should also consider dental care. A cracked tooth or abscess in a grid-down world can lead to unbearable pain or even sepsis. There are entire books dedicated to emergency dentistry with improvised tools. Those belong on your shelf too. And don't forget the mental health side of survival. Crisis takes a toll on the mind as much as the body. Books on managing stress, trauma, and grief can help keep your family emotionally stable in times of chaos. Ultimately, your survival kit isn't complete without a medical library. These books empower you to be your own doctor when the world goes silent. They transform fear into action. Don't wait for the sirens to stop or the hospitals to lock their doors. Get the knowledge now, while you still can. When everything collapses, governments, power grids, food supply chains, what's left is the raw need to survive. And history, strangely enough, becomes a powerful ally. That's why books on primitive skills and homesteading are among the most valuable you can own. These books teach you how to function without modern conveniences, how to return to the basics of human survival, and how to thrive when the luxuries of the 21st century vanish overnight. In a collapse, there's no calling the plumber, the electrician, or the local handyman. There's no grocery store, no Amazon Prime, no YouTube tutorials. It's you, your land, your tools, and whatever you know. That's why books that teach you how to build, fix, grow, and craft things with your own hands are priceless. Homesteading books teach you the core skills that sustained generations before us. How to raise chickens and goats, how to build a composting toilet, how to can and preserve food without electricity, how to rotate crops, plant a four-season garden, and make your own soap or lye from ashes. These books are not just about living. They are about reclaiming independence from fragile systems that can fail at any moment. Books on primitive living go even deeper. They teach you how to tan hides, make clothing from scratch, use fire as a tool, and build shelters from trees and mud. They tap into the ancient human experience, the way our ancestors lived long before fossil fuels and factory farms. Knowing how to create a stone knife, how to purify water without filters, or how to cook over an open flame isn't just cool, it's survival. The beauty of these books is their permanence. Batteries die. Internet goes down, but printed pages, they keep working. You can sit by candlelight and learn how to build a rocket stove, or read how to track game, set snares, or make a bow from a tree limb. Every page becomes a mentor when you need one the most. Many people will panic when the grid goes down, thinking they have nothing. But if you have the right books, you have everything you need. Knowledge, and knowledge, applied correctly, becomes security. It becomes shelter, heat, food, and confidence. Don't assume you'll figure it out when the time comes. That's wishful thinking. Get the books now. Study them, annotate them, practice from them. Because when the world turns off, those old school skills become new again. And the person who knows how to live without the system is the one who leads when it fails. Many people underestimate the importance of mindset in survival, yet it's often what determines whether someone thrives or falls apart during a crisis. That's why books that develop mental strength, resilience, and strategic thinking are just as essential as guides on physical skills. When panic sets in and chaos reigns, your mind becomes your greatest weapon or your worst enemy. And books can train it before disaster strikes. Mindset books cover everything from Stoic philosophy to modern psychology, teaching you how to remain calm when the world around you is anything but. They show you how to control fear, manage stress, and stay focused on what you can control rather than spiraling into hopelessness. This mental discipline is what kept countless soldiers, explorers, and pioneers alive in some of the harshest conditions imaginable. Some books take you deep into historical accounts of survival under extreme circumstances. Stories of prisoners of war, polar explorers, or shipwrecked sailors show how the right attitude can mean the difference between survival and death. Reading these stories doesn't just entertain, it conditions your mind for hardship. It prepares you to see obstacles not as reasons to quit, but as problems to solve. Strategic thinking books are equally important. They teach you how to assess risks, make quick decisions under pressure, and adapt your plans when the unexpected happens. When everyone else is frozen by fear or running blindly, you'll be able to act with purpose. That's because you've studied strategies for thinking clearly in the fog of crisis. Leadership guides can also transform your ability to protect your family or group. Whether you're a natural leader or not, these books give you proven tools to keep people united, focused, and motivated when hope is fading. Because when times get hard, people look for stability. If you can offer it, you're invaluable. Even books on negotiation or conflict resolution can be lifesavers. In a collapse, you might need to barter, form alliances, or diffuse tense situations. Understanding human behavior and communication gives you a critical advantage. Words can prevent fights, forge bonds, and open doors to resources or protection. Above all, mental survival books remind you that resilience isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. Like a muscle, it grows stronger through use and training. Reading, reflecting, and applying these lessons now means you'll be ready when fear tries to take over. And in a world where everything external can be taken, your mindset is the one thing that can't be stolen, unless you let it. In a world where digital devices dominate and power outages can sever your access to critical information in seconds, having physical medical books is not just wise, it's potentially life-saving. When the grid goes down, hospitals are overwhelmed, or emergency services are unreachable, your ability to treat injuries, illness, and chronic conditions may depend entirely on what you know, or what you've kept in print. Books on first aid and trauma care should be among the first you secure. A good first aid manual teaches you how to stop bleeding, set broken bones, treat burns, and respond to everything from choking to cardiac arrest. In a collapse scenario, these aren't rare emergencies. They're daily survival tasks, and without medical professionals nearby, the responsibility falls on you. A printed medical reference can guide you step by step, helping you make calm, informed decisions when seconds matter. But first aid is just the beginning. You also need books on herbal medicine and natural remedies. Why? Because pharmacies will empty fast. Supply chains will break. You may have to rely on plants growing in your backyard or nearby forest. Quality herbal guides with clear images and dosages will show you how to identify, harvest, and prepare natural treatments that have been used for centuries. These books bridge the gap between desperation and hope. Chronic illnesses don't take a break during chaos. People with diabetes, high blood pressure, or asthma still need care, but medication may become scarce. That's why books on managing chronic conditions without pharmaceuticals are critical. They offer alternative dietary changes, lifestyle habits, and natural therapies that can help keep symptoms under control. Even dental care matters. In a crisis, a tooth infection can become deadly. Books on basic dental hygiene, emergency dental repair, and natural pain relief methods will empower you to prevent and treat issues before they spiral out of control. Another crucial topic is sanitation and hygiene. Disease spreads quickly when trash piles up, water is contaminated, and there's no access to running water. Books that teach you how to build simple latrines, purify water, and manage waste safely can prevent outbreaks of dysentery, cholera, and other killers that thrive in collapse scenarios. Lastly, psychological health is part of medical survival. Books that teach stress management, emotional regulation, and mental well-being strategies will help you and your group endure the long haul without breaking down mentally. The body and mind are connected, and both must be cared for if you want to truly survive. In short, medical books are your silent medic, your field nurse, and your health coach all in one. And they'll still be there when the batteries die, the clinic's close, and no one is answering 911. In times of crisis, lawlessness isn't just a possibility, it's a reality. When order breaks down, the vulnerable are often the first to suffer, and history shows us time and again that the rule of law can vanish almost overnight. That's why every prepared individual should have books on self-defense and tactical awareness, resources that teach more than just how to fight, but how to avoid the fight altogether. One of the most important aspects of self-defense in a collapse scenario is situational awareness. Books written by security experts and military veterans often dive deep into how to read your environment, spot danger before it strikes, and mentally prepare for high-stress encounters. These aren't just theories, they are skills born from battlefield experience, urban conflict, and real-world survival. Physical defense is also a critical subject. While tools like firearms and knives have their place, knowledge is the ultimate weapon. Books on close, combat self-defense, improvised weapons, and home fortification provide practical, step-by-step training that can be practiced long before trouble arrives. These skills are especially crucial for those who live alone, have families to protect, or cannot rely on external help. Self-defense books tailored to women and seniors are equally vital. Not everyone has the strength of a trained fighter, but that doesn't mean they're helpless. Many resources teach effective defense techniques using leverage, surprise, and confidence rather than brute force. Learning how to escape holds, defend against grabs, or use everyday objects for defense can make the difference between victim and survivor. Beyond hand-to-hand defense, these books often include lessons in strategic thinking, when to flee, when to hide, and when to stand your ground. A good tactical manual will cover urban versus rural threats, how to move quietly through dangerous zones, and how to recognize signs of gang activity or predatory behavior. It's not just about muscle, it's about mindset. Books on securing your home are especially valuable. From reinforcing doors and windows to setting up early warning systems using tripwires or natural barriers, these tactics can turn your shelter into a fortress. Some guides even walk you through low-tech perimeter defense, like creating noise traps or visual deterrents, which can stop looters before they even reach your door. Finally, self-defense is also about psychological preparedness. Books that explore fear management, adrenaline control, and the legal and moral weight of using force can help you stay grounded and act with clarity during chaos. When the world is unstable and help isn't coming, these books are your silent instructors, teaching you not just how to survive, but how to stand your ground and protect what's yours.